Morning, officers. So, yesterday the first question was based on logic. It read, which of the following lakes has the maximum native biodiversity? This word native is important because native means that the biodiversity is local to the area, to the lake. We are not talking about migratory species, migratory biodiversity. Okay. So, native biodiversity will mean that you will have to look at the lake in addition to the environment in which the lake exists, because if we talk exclusively about migratory biodiversity, there can be regions which are otherwise not as favorable to life or biodiversity, but they do occasionally get migratory species, right? But when we talk about native biodiversity, it is mandatory that the area itself, not just the lake, the whole area, the surrounding area, the region itself is favorable to higher biodiversity. So if we look at it from this angle, the common knowledge is that maximum biodiversity happens in tropical rainforests. Okay, and why is that so? Because in tropical rainforests you have good amount of sunlight and you have good amount of moisture. So you have plant life. If you have plant life, you have animal life, and that the food chain, you know about it, right? So if we say which of the following lakes has got the maximum biodiversity, maximum native biodiversity, you need to pick the region which is closest to tropical rainforests as possible, right? So Pangong So, now I made this question because yesterday on the front page there was this big news about Pangong So, China building bridges on the lake. So Pangong So is in Ladakh. Ladakh is a desert, right? So it cannot have maximum native biodiversity. Loktak Lake is in Manipur. Manipur is in northeast. Northeast is generally, it is very close to tropical rainforest region. It is good amount of rainfall, good amount of this thing, your sunlight, right? Possible. Next, Sambar Lake is in Rajasthan, right? Dry region, cannot have native biodiversity. And Lonar Lake is in the eastern part of Maharashtra, central, so to say, central part of Maharashtra, which is in the rain shadow area of the Western Ghats. So those are the drier regions of Maharashtra. So again, cannot have native biodiversity higher than Manipur, which is Loktak Lake. So that is why bravo, option B is the answer. The second question reads, consider the following statements about the Pangong So Lake. The first statement is, it formed as a result of intense tectonic activity. Now, you need to know the location of Pangong So, not the exact location, just whether it is in hilly areas or is it in plains or is it in plateau region, etc. Any particular lake for that matter, if you want to know about, if you want to infer how it formed, right? So Pangong So Lake is in Ladakh region. Ladakh is in J&K. J&K means Himalayas. Himalayas means that the Indian plate, it smashed into the Eurasian plate and then upliftment, all that thing, right? So intense tectonic activity, certainly it is correct. The second statement reads, it is patrolled 5 times per week by China and 3 times per week by India. Now this is a very tricky statement. It seems to be very factual and unrelated to UPSC. UPSC, you may think that UPSC does not ask these kind of things, or why should you know about how many times it is patrolled by China and India? And you are right. If you get any statement or any fact which is so deep, which is so exotic, which is so unique that it is not a part of your regular preparation, you can call this fact as not important and not relevant. Okay, if there is any fact which is not important and not relevant for your preparation, that fact normally would be wrong. Now why would it be wrong? Because these kind of facts, how many times it is patrolled, the best people to know about it are the ones who are posted there, right? Maybe the armed forces personnel, maybe the administration personnel. Only those people who are posted there, they will know about it. That means these are specialists, like these are people who have knowledge of the internal things, right? So you don't have that. You are just an aspirant, just an educated Indian who is concerned about her country, right? So you are not expected to know these things because these are specialized things, and UPSC in its notification itself, UPSC says that it is a generalist exam, no subject specialization is required, right? So any fact which requires subject specialization to answer will most likely be wrong, because if UPSC gives the correct fact, that means more people will be marking it wrong, and it will be an injustice to them, because only a specialized person can mark the statement correctly in that case. But if UPSC gives that particular statement as wrong, if it distorts the fact and gives it wrongly, then it becomes a matter of logic, and that is the logic which I am telling you. If it is a fact which is neither important nor directly related to your preparation, or it is too deep, right, so that fact is most likely wrong. But the assumption in this is that you have sincerely done your studies. Okay, you have done all your current affairs properly, you have done all your standard books, NCRT, and any one reference book properly. You have revised it multiple times. Okay, if you have not done these things and then you say that, if you have done only 2 months current affairs and sitting in prelims, and then you say I don't know about this fact, it is exotic, then you would be wrong. Okay, so the second statement is too exotic for our purpose, so it is wrong. If you negated the statement because it says 5 times by China and 3 times by India, you're thinking India will also do it equal to China. I could simply say 5 times by China, 5 times by India, or 5 times by China, 10 times by India, right? It could be anything. So this kind of reasoning will not work. What will work is what I have told you. Okay, so the answer to this question is one only.